Welcome back to Recover in Place. For today's mobility routine, I'm going to utilize a bit of floor space. I've also got a pad here and a foam roller that we're going to use for a later hip flexor stretch here, so I can have that kind of on hand. We're going to first start off with a cat-cow on the floor here. So for the cat-cow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into an all-fours position. All right. So when I'm in the all-fours position, hands are shoulder width, knees are hip width. And then from here to, you notice my shoulder is trying to be pretty much stacked over the wrist as best I can, and the hips are over the knees as best I can. So from here for the cat-cow, I'm just going to think about going the cat position, which would be this. This would be the cat. So you can think about this as a nice flexed position of the spine, and then going into the cow position, which is going to be a nice extension of the spine. All right, so I'm just moving back and forth between the two. I'm going to kind of follow me on this one. So I'm kind of thinking about tucking, and then I'm coming into that nice round. The head drops down, and then I like to think about coming right, dropping my belly down as my head kind of comes up. Right, so I'm just going back and forth between those positions. Really trying to think about the spine moving and trying to move all areas of my spine. You might notice that some of the areas your spine aren't working as well as others, and if that's the case, I'd probably just go through that area a little bit slower. So right here, you usually have a little bit of an issue. It's usually a little harder for me to move through that, and I'm just going to do a little bit slower to really focus on that movement. And I'm just going back and forth through this. So just going at your own pace on this one. Back and forth. We're going to go a little slower than I'm going. We've got about two more of these, two more. All right, last one here. In the cat position. Sort of that cow. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to line our back. All right, so line on the back here. And what I'm going to do is my feet are going to go together. All right, so my feet are together on this. Arms are going to just be kind of out of my sides, just a little bit of distance from the body here. So maybe roughly like a 45 or so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly start dropping my knees side to side. Right, I'm kind of keeping the connection here. I'm using my abdominals to help me do this here, trying to keep a neutral spine. You might start to feel some pops or cracks with this one, but I like to start it small. So, all right, the knees are slowly going side to side, and as I feel a little bit warmer, I can start to make that a little bit bigger side to side as I drop the knees. You know, I'm not pushing it, I'm just letting them kind of fall, controlling it with the abdominals, pulling it back and forth. It's nice and easy. Breathe. All right, so from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten my right leg in this case. Left leg comes and bends into 90. I'm going to drop it over like so. I can kind of block it here if I like, and I'm just going to kind of drop over. Right, so I'm kind of letting my back shoulder, in this case, my top shoulder will be my left shoulder. Left shoulder is kind of dropping over. Left arm is just on the ground over here. Right, I can kind of put a little bit of weight on my hand, but I'm not forcing this stretch. Again, I want to be really careful with my low back, mid back, and pelvis on this. So again, I'm just kind of letting the position or gravity do some work on me here. Just working some good breath. All right, I'm going to switch sides here, so brace the abdominals, I'm going to roll my head back. I'm going to switch sides, all right? So now I'm straightening my left leg in this case, arms roughly out at 45, right leg comes up, it's going to drop over. I can kind of put my hand, in this case it's my left hand now, is on top of my right leg. And I'm just kind of letting this position relax and kind of work on me a little bit. Working your breath on this. Back to center here. From here, mine flat on the ground, I'm going to take my legs up. I'm going to hook them here. And I'm just going to lightly go side to side. She just feels kind of good on the low back. A little reset after those positions. It might be a little hard. Just back and forth, nice and easy. Side to side. Alright, so from here, I'm going to set up for that hip flexor stretch just to finish this out. So I've got my pad here, and I've got my foam roller, or just something to elevate the back foot. It doesn't need to be a foam roller, I just had one on hand, so again, I'm going to use it. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to space this, maybe like a foot back or so. I'm going to start with my right leg here. So my right knee is going to go into the pad. And then the foam roller is going to be right here, kind of, just supporting that back foot, kind of elevating it a bit, all right? So this will come into play as we're coming into this. So from here, I'm going to be hip width, right? So as I'm hip width, I'm going to be nice and tall here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about tucking the tailbone underneath, so tucking that whole pelvis underneath. From there, you should start feeling a bit of a stretch here in that front part, and I'm also going to squeeze my back glute. So in this case, right knee is down. Right glute is squeezed, tucking the whole pelvis underneath. As I do that and squeeze the glute, I'm feeling definitely a bit of a stretch here in the front, maybe pretty subtle. So if you want a little bit more out of this, I'm going to move my front leg a little bit forward here, so keeping the tuck is really important. Keep the tuck, keep the squeeze, shifting the pelvis forward. What I don't want to do is completely relax in this position. If I completely relax my pelvis, I'm definitely going to start feeling this in the low back. If you feel this in the low back, back off, reset the position, and then try to come into it. You may have to keep completely upright. You may not be able to get all the way forward here, especially if you have tight hip flexors here. So it's a little bit more of a subtle stretch, but I'm kind of feeling it more as I sink into this. All right? Working your breath here. Slowly switching sides here, so now it's my left knee that's going to be down. I'm going to have the foam roller kind of supporting that back leg there, elevating it slightly. From here, again, I'm going to be nice and tall through the torso, tucking the tailbone underneath, squeezing the back glute. So again, my left knee is down, squeezing the left glute here, tucking the tailbone underneath. If you want a little bit more out of this, right, I'm going to shift that pelvis forward. And again, I'm going to find a little bit more, right? Again, if you start feeling this in the low back, right, reset that position, right? Get that tuck back. And then again, I'm going to shift myself forward, hopefully not feeling it in the low back. If you do feel that, again, just maintain the upright and don't shift the pelvis forward. Working that breath. for you today. Thanks for coming by and checking this out. This has been Recover in Place.